Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langate Girim Yatkripa Tamham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om. Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 14, The Disappearance of Lord Krishna. Next one. Srila Sutta Goswami said Arjuna went to Dwarka to see Lord Krishna and other friends, and also to learn from the Lord of his next activities. Srila Prabhupada's purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord descended to the earth for the protection of the faithful and annihilation of the impious. So after the battle of Kurukshetra and establishment of Maharaj Yudhishthir, the mission of the Lord was complete. The Pandavas, especially Arjuna, were eternal companions of the Lord, and therefore Arjuna went to Dwarka to hear from the Lord of his next program of work. A few months passed and Arjuna did not return. Maharaj Yudhishthir then began to observe some inauspicious omens which were fearful in themselves. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is ad infinitum, so eternal, I think, more powerful than most powerful sun of our experience. Millions and billions of suns are created by him and annihilated by him within his one breathing period. In the material world, the sun is considered to be the source of all productivity and material energy, and only due to the sun can we have the necessities of life. Therefore, during the personal presence of the Lord on the earth, all paraphernalia of our peace and prosperity, especially rain and knowledge, religion and knowledge, were in full display because of the Lord's presence, just as there is a full flood of light in the presence of glowing sun. Maharaj Yudhishthir observed some discrepancies in his kingdom, and therefore he became very anxious about Arjuna, who was long absent, and there was also no news about Dwarka's well-being. He suspected the disappearance of Lord Krishna, otherwise there would have been no possibility of fearful omens. Text 3. He saw that the direction of eternal time had changed, and this was very fearful. There was disruptions in the seasonal regularities. The people in general had become very greedy, angry and deceitful, and he saw that they were adopting foul means of livelihood. Srila Prabhupada's purport. When civilization is disconnected from loving relation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, symptoms like changes of seasonal regulations, foul means of livelihood, greed, anger, fraudulence become rampant. Change of seasonal regulations refers to one season's atmosphere become manifest in another season. For example, the rainy season being transferred to autumn, or the fructification of fruits and flowers from one season in another. A godless man is invariably greedy, angry and fraudulent. Such a man can earn his livelihood by any means, black or white. During the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir, all the symptoms were conspicuous by their absence. But Maharaj Yudhishthir was astonished to experience even a slight change of godly atmosphere of this kingdom. At once he suspected the disappearance of the Lord. Foul means of livelihood implies deviation from one's occupational activity. There are prescribed duties for everyone, such as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, but anyone who deviates from this prescribed duty and declares another's duty to be his own is following a foul and improper duty. A man becomes too greedy for wealth and power when he has no higher objective in life, and when he thinks that this earthly life of a few years is all in all. Ignorance is the cause for all these anomalies in human society, and to remove this ignorance, especially in the age of degradation, the powerful sun there to distribute light in the shape of Srimad Bhavatam. Text 4. All ordinary transactions and dealings became polluted with cheating even between friends and in familial affairs. There was always misunderstanding between fathers, mothers and sons, between well-wishers and between brothers. Even between husband and wife there was always strain and quarrel. Srila Prabhupada's purport. A conditioned living being is endowed with four principles of malpractice, namely errors, insanity, inability and cheating. So the four uh, problems Srila Prabhupada is summarized in errors, insanity, inability and cheating. These are signs of imperfection, and out of the four, the propensity to cheat others is the most prominent. And the cheating practice is there in the conditioned soul, because the conditioned souls are primarily in the material world, imbued with an unnatural desire to lord it over the material world. A living being in his pure state is not conditioned. Is not conditioned by laws. A living being in the pure state of conscience, pure state, is not conditioned by the laws, because in this pure state he is conscious that a living being is eternally subservient to the Supreme Being, and thus it is always good for him to remain subservient instead of falsely trying to lord it over the property of the Supreme Lord. In the conditioned state of living being is not satisfied even if he actually becomes the lord of all he surveys, which he never becomes, and therefore he becomes the victim of all kinds of cheating, even within his nearest and most intimate relation. In such an unsatisfactory state of affairs, there is no harmony even between fathers and sons and between husband and wife. But all these contending difficulties can be mitigated by one process, and that is the devotional service of the Lord. The world of hypocrisy can be checked only by counteraction through devotional service to the Lord and nothing else. Maharaj Yudhishthira, having observed the disparities, conjectured the disappearance of the Lord from the earth. अंदाज़ा लगा लिया. In course of time, it came to pass that people in general became accustomed to greed, anger, pride, etc. Maharaj Yudhishthira, observing all these omens, spoke to his younger brother, Shripapad's property. Such a pious king as Maharaj Yudhishthira at once became perturbed when there was such inhuman symptoms as greed, anger, irreligiosity, hypocrisy rampant in society. It appears from his statement that all these symptoms of degraded society were known to the people of the time, and it is astonishing for them to have experienced them with the advent of Kali Yuga, or the age of quarrel. Text 6. Maharaj Yudhishthira said to his younger brother Bhimasena, I sent Arjuna to Dwarka to meet his friends and to learn from the personality of Godhead Krishna of his program of work. Text 7. Since he departed, even 7 months have passed, yet he has not returned. I do not know factually how things are going there. Text 8. Is he going to quit his earthly pastimes as Devarshi Narada indicated? Has the time arrived already? Srila Prabhupada's Prabhupada. As we have discussed many times, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has many plenary expansions, and each and every one of them, although equally powerful, executes different functions. In Bhagavad Gita, there are different statements of the Lord, and each of these statements is meant for different plenary portions of the plenary portions. For example, Sri Krishna, the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, whenever and wherever there is a decline of religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. I am not on mute, right? No. Okay. So, yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyutthanasya dharmasya tatmam srijamyaham. I think so. To deliver the faithful, to enlighten the miscreants, and also re-establish the principles of occupation, I appear in every age. I think this is yada yada hi dharmasya, right? 7 is yada yada hi dharmasya. And then this is
no, first one is only yada yada hi dharmasya.
Yeah, and this is 4.8 is okay, परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्टता धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. That's also 3.21 and 3.24. 3.21 is okay, yad yad acharati shreshthas, whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And 24 is okay, sankarasya cha, unwanted population. Okay. To deliver the faithful, annihilate the miscreants, and also re-establish the principles of occupation, duty, I appear in every age. I should cease to work, then all humanity would be misdirected. I would also be the cause of cheating unwanted population, and I would thereby destroy the peace of all sentient beings. Whatever actions a great man performs, common men follow, common man will follow, and whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. All the above statements by the Lord apply to the different planetary portions of the Lord, namely his expansions such as Sankarshana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Narayana. These are all he himself in different transcendental expansions, and still the Lord Sri Krishna functions in a different sphere of transcendental exchange with the different grades of devotees. And yet Lord Sri Krishna, as he is, appears once every 24 hours of Brahma's time, or at least or after a lapse of 8,640,000,000 solar years in each and every universe. And all his transcendental pastimes are displayed in each and every universe in a routine spool. But in that routine spool, the functions of Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, etc. are complex problems for the layman. There is no difference between Lord's self and the Lord's transcendental body. The expansions execute differential activities. When the Lord, however, appears in his person as Lord Sri Krishna, his other planetary portion also join in him by his inconceivable potency called Yogamaya, and thus the Lord Krishna of Vrindavan is different from the Lord Krishna of Mathura or the Lord Krishna of Dwarka. The Virat Rupa of Lord Krishna is also different from him, and by his inconceivable potency, the Virat Rupa exhibited on the battlefield of Kurukshetra is the material conception of his form. Therefore, it should be understood that when Lord Krishna was apparently killed by the bow and arrow of the hunter, the Lord left his so-called material body in the material world. Okay. Therefore, it should be understood that when the Lord was apparently killed by the bow and the hunter, the Lord left his so-called material body in the material world. The Lord is Kaivalya. Okay. The Lord is Kaivalya, and for him there is no difference between matter and spirit because everything is created from him. Therefore, his quitting one sort of body or accepting another body does not mean that he is like the ordinary living being. All such activities are simultaneously one and different by his inconceivable potency. When Maharaj Yudhishthira was lamenting the possibility of his disappearance, it was just in pursuance of a custom of lamenting the disappearance of the great friend, but factually the Lord never quits his transcendental body, as is misconceived by less intelligent person. Such intelligent persons have been condemned by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita, and they are known as the Mudhas. That the Lord left his body means that he left again his planetary portion in the respective dham, transcendental abode, as he left his Virat Rupa in the material world. Text 9. Would you like to read for some time?
Text 9.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जय श्रील गुरुदेव, जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर हरि बोल। Okay, we'll read from text.